Next thing I know, I'm waking up and, I go outside and I remember her saying, "You got a pitch today." I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "San Diego, you got a pitch." I said, "No, I pitch tomorrow." She says, "Oh, no, 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 look. And I said, "Well, what happened to yesterday?" So there I was out there, high as a Georgia pine, tripping on acid.
What's going on, y'all? About to make this video about one of my favorite players of all time, number 17, Mr. Dock Ellis. Since it is Black History, or what I call Indigenous American History Month, I figure it might as well shout out somebody who's criminally underrated, I guess I should add. A lot of people don't even really know who he is, especially people who aren't really, not necessarily historians, but like big fans of the sport of baseball. But really, I've been playing since I was like 5. And I wasn't very good, and I stopped playing around like middle school. But I always loved baseball. It was real fun, even though I wasn't a very good hitter. I just like stealing bases and shit. And as I've grown up, I really grown to like psychedelics too, specifically mushrooms and acid. So it intrigued me when I found out about somebody who pitched on LSD. Not only that, but an Indigenous American man. That tripped me out. I was like, wow, I gotta definitely find out more about this dude. Anyway, before I even talk about the game, I just want to talk about who he was and shit outside of just that singular game. Dude was a very good baseball player. wasn't no one-hit wonder kind of guy, and wasn't necessarily a Hall of Famer, but he was pretty good. He had a stellar career, I guess I'll say. He wasn't no Nolan Ryan. And the no-hitter that he pitched wasn't a very good no-hitter. He walked a couple guys, and a couple guys got hit, but it was still a no-hitter. It was still a no-hitter. But he came to the league in '68, 2 months after Martin Luther King got killed by the U.S. government. Martin Luther King was killed in April of '68, and I'm pretty sure Dock Ellis was drafted in June of '68. So there was a lot of racial tension, off the rip. You look at guys like Jim Brown and Jackie Robinson. These dudes faced a lot of shit just for being on the team, just for playing. And granted, the racial tension had died down a little bit, after since Jackie Robinson's time, but it was still hell. And again, Martin Luther King had just got killed, so it was still kind of bad. And he was a pitcher, so he had kind of stepped into an advocate role, you know what I'm saying? And plus, from what I've kind of seen over the years, he was an outspoken kind of guy. And yeah, dude used to he sat out for a couple contracts, when the Pirates wasn't paying him enough. He was an advocate for just for being himself. He used to wear hair curlers, and he used to rock cornrows, and it was a different kind of guy. I've watched a lot of interviews on him, and I've listened to a lot of the things that teammates would say about him. And he was an off the wall kind of dude, not necessarily a Dennis Rodman kind of guy, because Dennis Rodman is his own entity. Motherfucker's crazy, and you'll probably never get another one like him. But that was kind of his vibe. Do whatever I want kind of shit. And to a point where he said it himself. He never played a game sober. He always was under the influence of some kind of drug. There was a drug called Dexamyl back in the day. Dexamyl, from the research that I found on it, it was an amphetamine. They used to call them greenies. And I was watching an interview, and a guy said that Dexamyl was basically like drinking 20 cups of coffee. And that sounds like cocaine or Adderall. That's all it was. Adderall in the '60s or early '70s, and everybody was on it. A lot of people was on it because, as you know, pharmaceuticals are pretty. As fucked up as some of them can be, they're pretty regular. It's crazy how you can give a kid Ritalin. Ritalin is pretty much like is meth. It's damn near meth. So yeah, they was all on it, and he said he used to do a lot of cocaine when he was playing, and he drank a lot, and he flipped it all around when he retired. He actually dedicated his life to sobriety and going into prisons and talking to guys, and he would do a lot for these dudes. They said he used to bring in food from the outside, and he would bring in his phone and let them call their family and shit, which you're not allowed to do. But they said he would do that, just because that's the kind of guy he was. He kind of do what I want, and he had a big heart. And yeah, he just he changed his whole life around. You know, he wasn't just some druggie. Now I can talk about the game. So from what I've seen from multiple sources, dude didn't mean to take acid before the game. He had a game on Friday, and he flew into LA on Thursday. They was playing the Padres. They was playing in San Diego. So he flew in, took some acid, and Friday came. He thought it was still Thursday, but he said his homie's girlfriend was like, yo, you got to pitch tonight. He was like, what are you talking about? That's tomorrow. She was like, no, it's Friday. Today is Friday. You have to pitch today. He was like, what the fuck? Like, I got to pitch? Are you kidding me? So he, I'll leave the rest to him.
During the time when I was pitching the no-hitter in San Diego, I really didn't know, I didn't see the hitters. All I could tell was if they was on the right side or the left side. As far as seeing the target, the catcher put tape on his fingers so I could see the signals. But as far as seeing the batter themselves, I didn't really see who they were. The opposing team and my teammates, they knew I was high, but they didn't know what I was high on. They didn't really see it, but I had the acid in me, and I didn't know what I looked like with that acid. I had lost all concept of time. It was easier to pitch with the LSD because I was so used to medicating myself. That's the way I was dealing with the fear of failure. You know, if Doc's pitching, we know it's high. How high is he? I pitched every game in the major leagues under the influence of drugs.
Dude was a good cat, you know, from what I heard. You know, he made an All-Star in '71, I believe, and he won the World Series. You know, he even got a World Series. He got a pendant. And he was part of the first all-black, I don't know if they was all black, but it was like an all-minority, it was an all-minority lineup. It was him, it was like Roberto Clemente, and there was a couple other like Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and black folks. You know, they whole starting lineup from their pitcher to their first, second, third baseman, all the outfield. And a lot of times there was either all black dudes out there or black dudes and Latinos, which Latinos is basically just niggas on an island. I guess you could say that. But yeah, man, I'm gonna leave the rest to him. R.I.P. Dock Ellis, a real one. And he's, like I said again, he's criminally underrated. A lot of people don't know about him because a lot of brothers don't really play baseball that much. I mean, we do. We play a lot of baseball, but a lot of white folks, they try to claim that sport. They try to call it America's pastime. But yeah, man, criminally underrated. I suggest you do a little more information on him yourself because I know I didn't hit every single point. I just bit my tongue. I didn't hit every single point. There's a lot of stuff I may have missed out, but check him out, man. And there's also a documentary called, it's called No No, a Dock Ellis documentary. They used to call no-hitters no-nos back in the day. So yeah, again, R.I.P. Dock Ellis. Happy Indigenous American History Month. Peace.